So
Sure.
a lot of people have been coming after you and your brother about selling out. I've been getting DMs. You want to, just I don't think you're selling out. I just think that, hey, look, you called out a scammer and now you're buying low when all the prices are going down. So if you want to address that.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people have just picked up onto our content for just the last year or two. It's our 15th year, and so we have a slightly different perspective than maybe the people that are just picking up on it. Certainly, like, we could have started a separate YouTube channel. Certainly, we could have been more, like, forthright with these types of things. But Ryan and I have done these types of things all the time. We're in one direction. And, when everybody's praising you and everybody's like, Sports Card Radio is the best, this, that, and the other, that's the top. That's the peak. It ain't gonna keep going up. Okay. So we're actually used to people criticizing us. We're actually used to about at least 50% of the audience. Sometimes it's been more than that, criticizing what we say. And look, Ken Golden and Jeff Wilson in the last 90 days, they threatened to sue us. Like, if somebody is still mad about that, and I'm not, that says more about, we just talked to Brian. Brian's the only person that actually got me in a court document. David Gelfman threatened to sue us multiple times. Upper Deck has threatened to sue us. Panini has threatened to sue us. Like, getting a threatened, I think a lot of people kind of looked at it as like, oh my God, they're getting a lawsuit threat. And Ryan and I were just kind of like, oh, here we go again, and the platform's a little bit different, the way we presented it. Certainly, I think it was a little more entertaining and got a little bit more into it. But, look, if Jeff Wilson gets indicted on PPP loan fraud, holy crap, we're doing a 12-hour, cancel your work, get a babysitter, because we'll do a 24-hour live. It might be like a 48-hour live stream because I think we could jam in a lot of content there. And so, but look, you can't, I mean, like, at some point, like, what am I going to make my 8th PPP loan video? You know what I mean? Like, at some point, the content kind of runs its course. And I think you probably realize this too, AH. You get fed probably all kinds of stuff. You get fed probably the same stuff I do. And it's like, do I really want to sit down and make a video today on this guy that got scammed on eBay? And not that guy's not important or that transaction doesn't mean something, but, you make a video way more often than we do. And so it's like, I don't want to minimize it. And I don't want to I want people to feel how they want to feel. And if they're upset, it's actually okay. Like, I think people, like, when an actor is in Hollywood and they play a role and then people get angry, like, if you email Brad Pitt and you're like, dude, you're a jerk in that movie, I hate you, Brad Pitt probably is honored by that. And so I actually look at it as like, when people actually think that I am literally over here with 2 children, a family, multiple other businesses, and many other things going on in my life, that I'm really overly concerned about another man's PPP loan. That's what you see in the videos, but it's not that it's not important. It's not that it's not worth discussing. But we're talking about something now that it's like 60, 90 days old. They were never going to sue us. When these lawsuits came over, they were never, ever going to sue us. Ryan and I knew that from the jump. That's why we created video. Right after we get the threatened lawsuit, we literally grab our crotch and pump it even more. This is why there's a lot of people in this industry that ignore, like, we talked about Leighton Sports Cards PPP loans, BBCE's a PPP loan. We talked about Upper Decks and DA Cardworld's PPP loan. The reason why those guys didn't come and say anything is because they knew, I would assume, they knew what was going to happen. Jeff literally sat down on a couch. I made a video talking about his PPP loan, posted maybe 5 to 10 Instagram stories on his PPP loan. Then he sat down on a couch and made a video. And that was boop, game over at that point. Game over. Now I'm going to do 3 or 4 videos. I'm going to dice it up. And then he sent the lawsuit over. And it was like, and Ryan and I, like, I mean, we could have a behind the scenes things. When this lawsuit comes over, you'd think, oh my gosh, we're shaking our boots. No, we're dying laughing inside. He and I are just like physically laughing, figuring out, okay, how do we turn this into a video? How do we turn this into, something funny? And we can weave in Stockton, and we can weave in, like Ryan's video where he's sitting there black and white, and I apologize to Jeff Wilson, and then it skirts and it goes to Nate Diaz. This was all telegraphed and choreographed on the phone. He and I'm like, dude, do the video like this, make it like this. People will flip out, and and look, I think we're not making Hollywood movies over here, but people buy into it enough. And it's like, yeah, if Jeff Wilson did actually sue me, he was going to lose. Okay. Like, I understand the law enough out here. I do have I went to college, so yeah, and I have lots of friends, and I'm a member of a country club, so yeah, I know lots of attorneys in my extended families. They all have explained the law to me very well. If anybody wants to sue me for this, they will lose, and it will be and that's why that's why the odds of us ever getting sued was like almost zero. I mean, I suppose anybody can sue for anything, but the odds of Jeff Wilson and Ken Golden, who likely have decent enough representation, their lawyers tell them, like, you can send the scare letter, but to actually sue these guys in a California courtroom is got to be one of the stupidest things you could possibly do. And so I don't think either of them are that stupid, and I don't think either of their legal team is that stupid. And Ryan and I have been talking about months for transitioning onto other content to where it's sustainable. Look, if the PPP loan stuff is the gift that keeps giving, yeah, we'll keep making videos, but it's much easier to say, hey, I bought this card this week, I sold it for this, I bought this, I sold this, I bought this, sold this. We have control of that content. That's proprietary to us. We don't have to rely on a scandal, a breaker dipping, this, that, and the other. We're trying to build like a sustainable platform. Whether or not it gets 30,000 views, 20,000 views, 5,000 views, it doesn't matter at that point, at this point in our career making content. It's more about having control of our own destiny, making the content and being able to produce it on a consistent basis, and just doing what we like. It's fun to do the PPP videos. It's fun to say, suck my PPP and this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, there's only so many videos you can make on that. And there's only so many times you can push somebody over the edge to where they threaten to sue you. And it's fun when it happens, but for us, I wouldn't recommend this to other people, but it's not, like, and it's okay. Like, people pushing back against us is exactly what we want. And we kind of like feed it even more. When people are attacking us, most people would be like, great curator, and block and hide from channel. No, we screenshot it and then go share it to go get even more, either more trolls are on the hating side, or the people that want to support us. If you want to, that's fine. I don't care. But it's really to get more trolls. Okay. And so that is like, trust me, the trolls will watch every single one of your videos. They're going to comment. The goal on YouTube is to get people to click on your video and watch it. It doesn't matter what they do after that. Like, that's the only goal. And if you do that, YouTube, its whole goal is to make money, and they will show videos to people that are clicking on them, whether they like you or they hate you. You actually want that. We've always tried for that paradigm. People love us or hate us. And I think having a balance of that is actually what you should strive for. If you try to be like the great curator and, I'm every man, it's like, it becomes fake at some point. It's